I'm going to talk to them for a minute, and then I'm going to start the official recording. Yeah, but you can just cut the debating off. Hello, my friends. This is Peymon Motahede. I'm the president and founder of Freedom Law School, and tonight I'm going to be doing a redo of one of our past presentations. In fact, much of what I'll be producing the next year will be a redo of our previous presentations. And so now that we have a better studio, nicer lighting, everything, and sometimes updated information allows me to do the updated, more, presentable, complete explanation of the previous things that we have produced out there, but you can always room for improve. Plus, for those of you who are new, it's a new, refreshing subject that perhaps you have not looked at before, or maybe it was a while ago before, now you get a chance to see it again. So with that, we're ready. We're going to get started officially and cut the beginning and put the rest of it on internet so you guys can check it out for yourself. Hello, my truth and freedom-seeking friends. I am Peymon Motahede, the president and founder of Freedom Law School. We have to do a countdown, guys, so hold on. I'll be starting in 6 seconds. Hello, my truth and freedom-seeking friends. I am Peymon Motahede, the president and founder of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. And for over 30 years, I have not paid or filed any federal income or payroll taxes, and been teaching Americans like you to do the same thing legally and safely. In this presentation, I will cover a common question that comes up in people's minds when they entertain the possibility of not filing and paying federal income taxes. They say, well, if I stop paying income taxes, who will fund the government? We need the government to, take care of us, protect us, right? Well, I'll cover that in this presentation. But let me tell you, you want to go to freedomlawschool.org for the empowering information you are looking for to live free now. That's right. Drain the swamp, regain your freedom, restore freedom. Go to freedomlawschool.org. So let's cover things like, for example, firefighters. People say, what do we do without police, courts, firefighters, schools, roads, all these things? What are they paid for? Well, let's go over these things, okay? So here we are, firefighters, okay? Well, Wikipedia tells us a very common knowledge that city fire departments draw their funding directly from city taxes and share the same budget as other public works like the police department and tri-services. That's right. Your police department, your sheriffs, okay, the courts, all these things you need, even the tri-services are provided by your local taxes at the city and county level, not the federal government. Okay? Let's go now to the other topic of schools specifically. Here's that, edweek.org about school finance. Okay? It tells us school budgets and the ways they are financed vary from state to state because America is 50 countries, and every country has its own way of doing things, state by state. And school district to school district. Generally, though, states use a combination of income taxes, corporate taxes, sales taxes, and fees to provide about 48% of the budget of the elementary and secondary schools. So, again, federal taxes are not a part of the game. It's the taxes you pay in your county, city, school district, or state that pays for the communist public school system, okay, that many of us, unfortunately, has become dependent upon to educate our children. Let's move on now, talk a little bit more about the federal government plays a relatively small role in, first through 12th grade education. As of year 2022, look at this. 44% of state taxes, 43% local taxes, 14% federal, which actually doesn't even belong. That's technically it's not unconstitutional, but it's not intended by the federal government to rob you. Here's what they do. The federal government robs the people of the state through deception. They have all this money. They turn around. They tell the school district, police, or city, say, you want some of that money? Do things the way we tell you to do it, and we'll give you the money. You don't want to do it our way? You're not going to get any money from us. We'll give the money to those cities, especially the big, corrupt, poor cities, okay, like Los Angeles and New York, that are hungry for money. We're poor, because they will do it my way of the federal government. But guess what? I get to control them. That's how the corrupt system has become. If you don't fund the federal government, they won't be able to control your local cities and counties in any way. And because you have more money to spend in your county and your city, guess what? There's more sales taxes. There's more money to buy houses. Price of housing goes up, which means higher valued houses pay more property taxes. So guess what? There'll be no need whatsoever for the counties and cities and school districts and police to go to the federal government and beg to get that 14%. Okay? Now let's move on to the highways. Again, common knowledge on Wikipedia even, right? What do they tell us about the highways? Well, they're called the federal highways. But the roadways were built, and have always been maintained by state or local governments since their initial designation in 1926. That's right. Even the federal highways, not just local roads, but even federal highways are paid by, the states. It's just a federal numbering system that they use so that you can easily go from state to state and don't get lost. The name of the highways don't change. That's all the federal part is, just to keep a consistent numbering system of the highways. Okay, let's now look at this again. Peter G. Peterson Foundation give us again more information that shows that the federal government funds only 22% of the highways, and 70% is by state and local governments. But even there, guess what these are? This is not your income tax. This is your gas tax at the pump. That's how many pay gas. You see how much state and federal taxes added to your gasoline? That's what pays for the federal highways, not your income or payroll taxes. Nothing will change. Highways will be built just fine in America. Let's move on now without the federal income taxes. Again, how much of road spending is funded by user taxes in your state? Look at this chart. In California, 99.7% is paid by what? By local taxes. Wyoming, at 58%. Utah, about 44%. Florida, 79%. Texas, 74%. Again, and then these are paid by local money, okay? Local taxes, not the federal taxes that we are led to believe that we need to have a safe and sound America. So I just showed you basically that America will do just fine. Police, the courts, sheriffs that will keep you secure and safe, paid by local property tax, sales tax, and other local taxes. Okay, DMV taxes and so forth. Okay, schools, firemen, roads, the same way. So, what do we need the federal government for? And federal taxes anyways. Well, look, back in 1776, there was 13 countries or states, right, that became independent of England. They were colonies of England, became independent countries. Here, you see them in 1775, before they became countries, okay? Over time, that changed. Over time, they changed. Here's the Declaration of Independence, right, of 1776, okay? And they talk about the laws of nature and nature's God, okay? Because they recognize that your rights are not from government. Your rights come from your Creator above, okay? You were born with them. And that was a revolutionary statement to say to the whole people of the earth that some king or dictator is not your owner. No. You own your life. That's what God gave you, to live your life as you choose, as long as you do not violate other people's rights, and as long as you keep your agreements with others. That's the basics of natural law. And here the Founding Fathers talk about that. They talk about your unalienable rights. Rights that cannot be taken away from you, made alien to you. It's unalienable rights. That among them are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Okay, among them is a lot more they did not specifically mention. Okay, and that to secure these rights you were born with, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers to keep you safe and secure and free from the consent of the government. And that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends of securing your rights and freedom, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish that government and to institute new governments that would lay its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to, establish to secure their safety and happiness the way you want to. So, here we go, to affect their safety and happiness. So, that is the purpose of the government, period. And the states were completely independent countries for over a decade. In 1789, they proposed a constitution for a new government, an agent of the states. This agent of the states was to handle 18 common needs of all the countries or states that became part of a union. Common defense, common foreign relations, common money, and 15 other common needs of these states. And they kept all the rights and powers to themselves. Okay, actually, states have powers. People have rights, to be more accurate. Okay, so the U.S. Constitution, it was a revolutionary thing at the time also, because nobody ever created that kind of system in America before. Okay, and the Constitution, all it was is a creation of a new government. It was a framework of a new government they organized. And the states now delegated certain powers to the states, to the federal government, and retain all the powers, everything else to themselves, as I said, right? So the federal government is the government of limited, specific powers that have been delegated. Everything else is kept by the states. That's why the corona hoax lockdowns were done by each country in the union, state by state. South Dakota had none ever. California, New York, Hawaii, these communist states had draconian, harsh lockdowns. Florida had a little bit of it, and then they let it go. There is no such thing as a federal corona lockdowns. All the federal government could do is to do propaganda and induce the states, begging with the help of the corrupt major media, as well as the high tech that's control high tech. Then they got a lot of people to take the shots and jab anyways. So I'm going to show you right now. We're going to go to the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. See, again, they recognize we the people have all the power in the system. It's us. They deliberately put we the people in the U.S. Constitution big to remind everybody that we the people have the power, not the government, okay? In order to form a more perfect union among the countries. It's a union of countries to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for common defense, and promote general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. All right? So let's now go to the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments of the U.S. Constitution, which is really not a bill or list of your rights at all. It's just all of that, you know. It's just further restrictions on the federal government's powers. And here in these 10 amendments, they reminded everybody of some of the limitations of this new agent, the U.S. government's powers, which was delegated by the states. Okay? So here we go. The 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. It says that the powers not delegated to the United States federal government by the Constitution for the United States, nor prohibited by to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. That's right. All the power eventually goes back and belongs to we the people. Okay? So, now people say, well, Peymon, okay, I see we don't need the federal government for roads and schools, police, sheriffs, courts, to be safe in our communities. Okay. But how about the military? What are you going to do about that? That's part of the federal government's responsibilities, right? Yes, it is. But look at this. Again, this is well-known stuff that even Wikipedia tells you, okay, about United States Department of War. Never heard of it? I know why you haven't heard of it, because of deception. You see, you did not know there was no such thing as the United States Department of Defense until 1949. See, the War Department existed from 1789 until September 1947. After a couple of years of transition, it finally became the United States Department of Defense. See, that's war. That's right. We don't have a Department of Defense. No. We don't use the military to defend us from anybody. Are you kidding me? It's all to make war on other people and offend them, aggressively destroy other countries. Okay? Now, all this propaganda you see on television about Iran, Russia, China, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, X, Y, Z. Are you kidding me? Now these countries hold a candle to the American empire's military. How did they come mess with us? Okay? America is separated from the world by the Atlantic Ocean on the east, and then Europe, which is friendly to us. West Europe is our slave. And on the east, by the greatest part of the earth, the Pacific Ocean is huge between us and China and Eastern Russia and Japan. So it's absolutely ridiculous to anybody to say, oh, Russia's going to annihilate Western Europe, go over Atlantic Ocean, and then come and take over the America 50 states. Russia's economy is the size of Mexico. It's just ridiculous to say that. But they do. Russia. Because what their goal is to distract you from the enemies within our gates. The big banks, corporation, big media, military, industrial complex, those crooks or criminals do not want you to realize they made you their slave, deceiving you to pay income and payroll and other federal taxes to spend, on them to give them money. They don't want you to know that's what's going on, so they make all these boogeyman foreigners, come get you. Iran, come on, are you kidding me? It's smaller than even Mexico. Okay, there's nobody can attack America. All right, so this is about aggression. It's not about defense. It's about time we American people realize that they deceived us in that area. And look on the right. This is again from a Peter J. Peterson Foundation. The United States spends more on military, not defense, military aggression, than the next 10 countries combined. More than China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia. By the way, they're our friends because they give a lot of their oil money to us to give them military. England, Germany, France, South Korea, Japan, and Ukraine. Again, Ukraine, whatever they got, they buy our militaries. That's why we like them, right? They fund our military companies. We don't need to spend all this money. This is almost $900 billion of known budget. We could spend 10% of that, only $90 billion, and we will be completely safe. That's right. And you know what? There's so much waste and corruption. Even that 10% of the official budget is too much that we don't have to spend. Okay, I'll come to that in just a second. Here's another chart that shows the share of the world military expenditures of the 15 countries with the highest spending listed specifically. On the right, over a third, 39% of the world's military spending is by United States of America. Next to China at the bottom, 13%, and left to that, Russia, India, so forth. Why do we need to spend all this money on military? We don't. Okay, they're just fooling us, folks. Okay, these companies that make these military machines, and tanks, and airplanes, and rockets, they're making billions and trillions with the money that you are deceived to pay to Washington, D.C. government, to pay these military contractors to get richer and richer and richer at your expense. Okay, so let's play this video now. Okay, this was on CBS News. Okay, and this was the art of the Pentagon. Okay, way back then in the late 90s, September 10th, 2001, a day before 9/11. Is that an accident? That they released the result that shows that the Pentagon could not account for or locate $2.3 trillion of the late 1990s money. Over 25 years ago, they could account for $2.3 trillion, which is today's money would be over $10 trillion with a T. It's not that it was mismanaged, they paid too much for things. No. They don't even know where the money went. It's like disappeared down someplace We can't find it because they got you deceived that we got to protect ourselves from the Chinese, Russians, Iranians, and all North Korea, all these enemies, boogeymen out there. So let's watch this. Just a 1-minute clip you see right now. That's available on YouTube. You can check it out for yourself. Okay, here we go.
For every man, woman, and child in America. To understand how the Pentagon can lose track of trillions, consider the case of one military accountant who tried to find out what happened to a mere $300 million.
We know it's gone, but we don't know what they spent it on.
Jim Minery, a former Marine turned whistleblower, is risking his job by speaking out for the first time about the millions he noticed were missing from one defense agency's balance sheets. Minery tried to follow the money trail, even crisscrossing the country looking for records.
The director looked at me and he says, "Why do you care about this stuff?" It took me aback, you know. My supervisor asked me why I care about doing a good job. So.
He was reassigned and says officials then covered up the problem by just writing it off.
They got to cover it up. That's where the corruption comes in. They got to cover up the fact that they can't do the job.
The Pentagon's Inspector General partially substantiated several of Minery's allegations, but could not prove officials tried to manipulate the financial statements. 20 years ago, Pentagon employee Franklin C. Spinney made headlines exposing what he calls the accounting games. He's still there, and although he does not speak for the Pentagon, he believes the problem has gotten worse.
Those numbers are pie in the sky. The books are cooked routinely year after year after year.
Retired Vice Admiral Jack Shanahan commanded the Navy's Second Fleet the first time Donald Rumsfeld served as Defense Secretary.
With good financial oversight, we could find $48 billion in loose change in that building without having to hit the taxpayer.
In the 2.5 minutes since this report began, the Pentagon has spent nearly $2 million, and it may never know where 25% of those tax dollars went. In Los Angeles, I'm Vince Gonzalez for...
Yeah. Corruption. And they were covering it up even back then. $1 out of $4 they spent in the military, they can't even know where it went to pocket to their friends, the crooks and cronies. So we're going to be completely safe from any potential foreign attack, okay? Why would Russia try and mess with us? They don't. We're messing with them, okay? China, we are their biggest customers, okay? Why would you shoot your customer that buys your product and makes you rich? Wouldn't make any sense, right? Chinese would not have no interest to try take over America. Not to mention, America is one of the very few countries in the world, and the biggest on earth, that people have a right to have guns. There's no way they could take over America, folks. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to be completely safe. So know this. You have no legal, moral, ethical, or constitutional duty to pay for any of these crooked actions of the federal government. We're going to be completely safe without them. In the other two videos in this series, I'll cover the other two topics that are important. One is how your money is being wasted. You just got a glimpse of the waste of the government and the military. Well, they're wasted everywhere. We'll cover that in another video you should check out. And we'll cover even worse. They actually use your money against you, to enslave you, to hurt you, and even murder you and your fellow American citizens. Why would anybody pay for their own self-destruction? It's just crazy. I wouldn't do that. In fact, for over 30 years, I have not filed and paid any federal income taxes, taught others to do the same. Now it's your turn, my friends, to do the same. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and continue to educate and empower yourselves to be free and not fund your enemies. Follow the law, number one. Number two, you gotta stop filing the tax forms. Stop filing those 10 income tax confession forms. Number three, realize that the IRS is over 99% bluff. Number 4, you can take courage from our victories. We've beaten the IRS many, many times, my students and myself, all safely. None of any of my students have paid their $1 to the IRS or gone to prison for federal taxes ever since I started this program 22 years ago in 2001. 5, question authority. Write your lawmakers. If there's a law requiring you to file and pick up tax, write them, ask them, show me to refute our petition, which they can do. If they show you the law, pay it. But if they can't, which they've never done, don't pay your enemies in Washington, D.C. any more money again. Now, all that is for free, and you should do it. By the way, you could all stop withholding or stealing from your paycheck by your employer for free at freedomlawschool.org. Yes, I want you. If you work for Walmart, McDonald's, your low-wage job, anywhere, do it for free, folks. Okay? Keep 100% of the money you give to the IRS. Keep it for yourself and your family. You need it. I know inflation is hurting you and your family. You deserve to keep that money that your employer is stealing and give it to the IRS. So keep that, buddy. Okay? And now, some of you who make more money or want to take part in restoring freedom in America, taking us back to the roots of our freedom, you may be interested in going to step 6. And that is join the Restore Freedom Plan and will 100% protect you from any and all kinds of attacks by the IRS and put your money to use to restore freedom for America, for you, your children, and your grandchildren. And then last but not least, folks, just going to love everybody, folks. Love and spread the truth. Spread the word. Tell everybody about Freedom Law School, our plan to restore freedom, so they have an opportunity to be free, to be more prosperous, to get our country back. If you don't tell people, if you don't tell your family members, friends about us, they have no choice. If you don't tell your coworkers about Freedom Law School, they have no choice because they don't even know we exist. You tell them about Freedom Law School. Now you give them a choice. They can listen to you or ignore you. They can be closed-minded, saying, "No, I'm not interested. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Blah, 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 blah. You're a conspiracy theorist." Or they might say, "Hey, I'm interested. Educate me. I want to learn more. I want to know about how to restore freedom. Gee, people are not supposed to pay income tax in America? 99%? Okay. Let me check it out for myself. I'll go read this and go to your website and educate myself." Call us. We'll mail you these brochures for free, okay? Restore Freedom brochures, okay? So you can pass it out to your friends, family members, and co-workers, okay? The updated version of these will get it to you. And put any of our videos or material on your social media, on your video platforms. You have given permission to put it out there. Put your name out there, no problem. We're happy to reward you and pay you when you become a modern-day Paul Revere and tell other people about Freedom Law School, Restoring Freedom in America. So with that, brothers and sisters, I want to tell you this. I love every one of you. I really do. I do this because I want to live free, and I just want, as a young man, have fun in life, enjoy life, and have a family, okay? It is beautiful earth that God gave us. Now that I'm older, and I got what I want for me, I still want to be free because I want you to be free. I want the world to be free. Why should we be slaves? Why should we pay for wars and murdering innocent people out there? Right? And guess what? Now you have a say. Now you can take real action, but not supporting these criminals in D.C. for the wars and corruption. Okay? Fund yourself and your family. Okay? By telling others about it. So do your part. Love yourself first. Continue your education at freedomlawschool.org. And at the same time, tell others about us and give those you love the opportunity to be free and take part, if they choose, in restoring America and our children, our grandchildren's future to freedom once again. Okay, let's get to your questions. Okay, guys, I need a pen, please. And because I need a pen to take notes. All right. We got right now, I think 4 people ready to get the questions asked. All right, let's see. We got someone first calling from area code 612. I think that's in Minnesota. All right. Then we got some area code 512 caller. Then from area code 669. And then from area code 909. That's all we have right now, right? 4? Just right now, okay. Plus, I have someone with questions who sent a document to me. And as usual, everybody, I think we got 2 people with material that sent to us. Up to 10 pages, you can send to Freedom Law School, and I will answer them for you for free, review the paperwork at no charge, okay? Now, you can get private consultation with me or someone else trained by me, an expert, at a paid basis. But here is your opportunity to ask me questions for free, and I'm happy to help you at no charge. Okay. So, area code 612 caller, and all of you, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. 612 caller, let's start with you first, my friend.
Greetings. This is Pete Sajati from Minnesota, and it's really a blessing for you to open up the lines. And I see this as I'm really thankful. So, thank you.
You're welcome, Pete. How did you hear about Freedom Law School? Let's turn the volume up a little bit for me.
Okay, yeah. So, probably, I'm going to say during the COVID, scamdemic, basically, I started to get more familiar with some of these alternative video platforms, BitChute, Bright Neon, and I probably, stumbled upon a video of you with whether Stu Peters or, I don't recall the exact moment I learned about your movement, but on one of those alternative platforms a few years ago.
Very good. And how may I help you?
So you guys have been helping me, but to get to the point on this letter that I'm receiving, so since 2020, I haven't been filing my tax return. Now, I've been trying to make steps towards them stop from, go ahead and voluntarily taking money out of my paychecks. So that's since the last couple years, like 23 and 24, I've told them with the help of your website, I've gotten, the exemption form, and I've really had to take a bold stance for them to tell them, hey, I don't need you to take money out of my check. And but back in 2020, I didn't have that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And so I just, when I took the job for that employer that I was at in 2019 and 2020 up to 2021, mm-hmm. I had filled out the, they tell you if you want to start this, start working for us, you need to fill out this. I think it's a W2 or W4 or whatever one of those mm-hmm. they have you fill out. But I didn't put exemption on that one, so they went ahead and took all kinds of money out of that. Those years that I was working, and now recently I've been getting letters saying, well, they feel like the Minnesota Department of Revenue says, well, we feel like you owe us more money.
Hold on, Peter. Hold on, Peter. Okay, listen, there's no time to give life stories. There's no time for that. You got to make it short. People are waiting to get the questions answered, brother. Okay? So if you got letters from these agencies, you got to get the letter for me to read. Without reading it, I cannot tell you the answer. I'm no magician. Just like no doctor says, doctor, I heard you were a great doctor for back pain. Yeah? Well, tell me on the phone, how do I take care of my back so the pain goes away? You can't expect an answer from a doctor on the phone, no more than me. If you got letters, get them to me first. Up to 10 pages, I'll review them here at no charge for you. But other than that, I can't help you. You have any other questions besides those letters that you got that I can help you here?
Yeah, so my question is, they're saying that I owe them some more money, and yeah, I'll have to, once I get home, I'm actually out working right now, so I don't have access to all those letters, but once I do, I can keep, work out and have a consultation and pay you for your consultation. But right now, my question is, they're saying they want to put a levy against my future employment. If I work for somebody, they want to put a levy against it. I'm saying, is it, what is that? It's definitely not lawful. They use the word legal,
Pete,
but
hold on, Pete.
it's
Listen,
not lawful.
Listen, Peter, okay, with all respect to you, I cannot go by your representation or summary of what the letter says. Okay, I cannot do that. I'm not saying you're dumb or stupid, but all of the people call me, the letter says this. When I see a letter, the letter actually says this. Not quite the same. Well, that makes a huge difference. So I guess you have to wait till next week. Get your paperwork to me. I'll review them for free for you then. Until then, you should be hopefully okay. But get your paperwork to me, and I'll review them at that time. All right, brother?
Yeah, I'll have to dig through and find those mail letters, but
You have to.
In the
You have
meantime,
to. It's like you're going to the doctor without your body to check examination. Hey, do this, do that. Let me see. Let me do that. Without some examination or checking it in person, he cannot help you. Neither can I. So thanks for calling, Peter. Call back next week with your paperwork in our hand, and make sure we get your paperwork in advance. Okay? Call us. Make sure you got my letter. It is for the Freedom Hour.
Well, I did send one of the letters over, the most recent one. You didn't get
Let
it?
me see. Oh, you did? Well, why don't you say so?
I thought you had already known because
No, that's not. No assumption. No assumption. Okay. You got one of the letters. I got to see the rest. But what you got one here. This is September 13, 2024. And you only send me page 2. Not page 1. Come on, Peter. Come on, guys. Do a job right.
No. I mean,
but I'll do my best with what you got.
yeah.
Hold on. Let me see what I can do for you. Wage levy exemption claim
Well, I can check the sent mail. I sent the first and second page to information.
Don't have it here. Let me see. Is this yours? Nope, that's not yours. Nope. Sorry, it didn't. You got to make sure, folks. We got everything. Oh, there's double side. Okay. You got I see. I'm sorry. You got a wage levy continuation notice. Continuation notice. Okay, I see, Peter. Okay, 1,400 and change. The Minnesota Department of Revenue has a wage levy against you for the following debts. Unless we receive payment in full or we approve an exemption, we will continue to withhold up to 25% of your disposable wages. Was it sent to you or your employer? Who was it sent to, this letter?
Okay, yeah, it was sent to the Minnesota address that I've used from time to time. But they also, when I called them, I did call them to ask them, hey, what is it, to give me more information. They said that they did send a notice to my employer back in January of 2024 to start, garnishing my wages. But thankfully, my employer never did that.
Well, good. That's fine. That's okay. That's good for you. But bottom line is that you already have an obligation. You already somehow lost your tax case. I don't know what happened. You already lost that case. It's done. And thank goodness it's not 14 million or 140,000. It's only 1,400. It's like a couple of traffic tickets in California. Okay? There's nothing I can do about this, brother. Zero. I'm not a magician to be able to solve any and all problems, okay? Pay him or not, but this, the only way you can challenge this is to pay in full the tax and sue for a refund. And then you have to pay somebody to do it for you, which is not worthwhile because the amount of tax is small. So do not waste your time and energy on such small potatoes relatively. I know it's not that small to you, but it's small compared to what you have to pay a real professional that knows the stuff to challenge this stuff or try to get it back, which you may owe anyhow. Okay. I don't know. So focus from here forward. This is done. Nothing can be done by anybody to make this go away. All right? Any other questions? Before I go to the next caller, Peter?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're most welcome, Peter. Thank you for asking. Let's go to 512 area code caller. Give me your name, my friend. How did you hear about Freedom Law School? And then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon. My name is Brian. I learned about you through the Slave Nation documentary after going down a rabbit hole from seeing Joe Bannister on Redacted several months ago. My question, I've got two short questions. My first one is I'm a U.S. citizen and the owner of a single-member LLC with no employees. I do small-scale construction projects. Are LLCs that provide services such as construction required to file 1040, Schedule C, or anything to the IRS?
Nope. What else?
That's what I was thinking. All right. My second one was my wife is Canadian, and we're in the process of submitting for her to get her permanent residency here in the U.S. One of the requirements, in air quotes, is that I submit my last few years of IRS Form 1040 to show my income. If on my Form 1040 I don't earn more than $25,000, then IRS or immigration says I have to get someone else to be a co-sponsor for financial support. Do you think having our immigration attorney submit my profit and loss documents from my LLC would suffice, considering I am not liable for IRS income as they have defined it, because I make well over that $25,000 threshold? What are your thoughts on that?
You can try. They probably will not take it. The easiest thing is just like the attorney said, get someone else, a friend, neighbor, to co-sponsor her. That's all you got to do. Back in 1989, when I want to co-sponsor my wife and sisters to become a U.S. citizen, and I made too little money, and my ex-wife, who made more money, she became a co-sponsor. Anybody could do it.
Okay.
And right now, the communists, and they're not liberal, the communist Biden regime, who wants to bring as many foreigners in America to vote, to outvote you Americans, because they say, look, we the Democrat communists, we sponsor you to come to America. You have your relatives to come here? Vote for me. The Democrat communist part of America is for you. So these Americans who want to defend America, they're outvoted by you, and we can have America comfortably merged into one world slavery government. So they are giving easy visas, easy approval of immigrants as quickly as they can, because they know vast majority of immigrants will vote communist Democrat. Your wife, because of you obviously, will be one of those exceptions. Take advantage, get her through right away, have her become a citizen as soon as the law allows to vote for freedom. Okay?
Okay. So my CPA filed an extension, and he normally files my 1040 on October 15th. Should I just tell him, hey, stop with the extension, do the rescind and revocation, or what's a good option for that, considering immigration is imminent?
Look, I just told you. You don't have to pay income tax. Get someone to sponsor. If you file, how much you end up paying the IRS? $20,000, $100,000, $1 million? How much? About?
Nothing. Last 2022, my income on 1040 was $81, and for 21, it was minus $7,900. So I don't know how they're doing that.
It's up to you. You want to file with all that stuff and to put the rope around your neck, you can do that. If you don't want to file, don't put the rope around your neck on the 1040 form. Don't. It's up to you. You know my information. You're obviously intelligent enough to be successful in business. So you got to make a choice to make. Anything else, Brian?
Is the Restore Freedom Plan annual membership or a one-time membership fee?
Yes. You are literally divorcing yourself from the crooked King of England, the Washington, D.C. empire of corruption and criminality. And you join in the freedom movement just like the Founding Fathers. Who do you think paid for George Washington's army? For the militia. To leave their wife and children at home and go with him for freedom. Someone had to feed his wife and children. Other colonists did that. Someone to fund the freedom movement to pay for freedom lawsuits, freedom news platforms to tell you the truth, and for politicians, statesmen that represent we the people. Once again, okay? How's that going to happen? If you don't pay the money to Swamp and pay the freedom movement every year. Every year you've been paying the Swamp.
That's what I needed
every
to
year
know.
you're going to pay 30%. Of the 100% you pay the IRS, you get to keep 70%, and 70% you give to the you keep.
Yeah.
And the other 3%, you contribute to the Restore Freedom Plan, and we have that money to keep you safe, number one, and then spend the rest of it on restoring freedom in America. That's how it works. Any other question?
That's wonderful. So should I do the Restore Freedom Plan and let you guys do the rescind and revocation and all of that stuff, or like what is the best order of operations?
There's no problem. There's no rescinding. There's no revocation at all. As you see, step 5 was about write your lawmakers. Tell them, look, here's the law as quoted from U.S. government's official legal websites. Show me if I'm wrong, or you stop the criminals in IRS, Department of Injustice, and some crooked judges from misapplying the law on the people of the 50 states that do not owe the income tax. That's the part that we do for you if you join Restore Freedom Plan, as well as give you unlimited consultation, help, anything legal need to be done for you will be done, and as well as give you all the guarantees for you to be free and prosperous without IRS interfering with your life. All right?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Peymon. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for calling. Let's go to area code 669 caller, followed by area code 909 caller. And then we have another one from area code 630, follow that caller. So, 669 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, thanks for having me on the show. My name is Dylan. I heard about Freedom Law School through David Rodriguez of the Santa Cruz Voluntarily.
Did you call last week?
My question
About 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for calling back again, Dylan. What's on your mind, my friend?
My question is, I called Freedom Law School last Thursday, and your employee said you would print my email and the attachments and put them on your desk. Have you received them?
Right here, I think it is yours, Dylan. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. You got an FTB notice of proposed assessment, correct? You received from California Franchise Tax Board a
That's right.
letter, and you're 69 years old, correct?
No, I'm not 69 years old.
I'm sorry?
I'm not 69 years old.
How old are you?
30.
Okay, so this is not your letter. No, I do not have your documents. I'm sorry. So when did you send it to us?
Let's see. I sent it, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. At the top, it says State of California Franchise Tax Board.
Okay, it's too late for that. Hold on. Resend it to us. This time, follow up. Give us, 24 to 48 hours so we get it. Make sure we get it, process it, and then, and even when you send it to us, tell us it's for the Freedom Hour, but you call and double confirm that we received it, that it is for the Freedom Hour, and they will print it out and give it to me to go over with you next time. Okay?
But I confirmed with George that he found the email, and he told me that he would personally print it and put it on your desk.
Well, I apologize. He gave the wrong information. Make a note to let George about this. He shouldn't put it on my desk. He should make sure I have it for the Freedom Hour, and he processed it that way. So that's his mistake. I apologize to you. I'll let him know not to do that. But do you have the letter in front of you? Because of that, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of tip, hopefully, on the phone. Do you have the letter in front of you right now?
Okay.
Do you have your letter in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, on the top left of the page in big bold writing, what does it call itself?
In bold writing, it says request for tax return.
On the right-hand side, the date. What's the date of the letter?
8/27/2024.
August 27, 2024. You got, okay, I know he did give me your letter at the office to review. You forgot to tell him, or he didn't notice, that you're not a student. He gave it to me as if you're a student, that you get free consultation unlimited, you know. So that's what happened. You need to make sure, let him know to put it on my recording studio table for me to call him to ask me, not to just show it to me. That's what happened with your letter. I remember your letter. So, bottom line is that, yes, if you don't file a 1040 confession tax form with California, they send you a request or demand for a California tax return. If you don't respond, or pretty much anything you say to them, after 30 days, they'll send you a notice of proposed assessment. This one, you don't have to necessarily respond to, but the next one you do have to respond to within 60 days. Ask for a hearing. Otherwise, the tax will become determined, fixed, assessed, and they can go try to attack your paycheck and bank account. Now, California law clearly follows federal tax law definitions and forms. But remember, California is a communist country, not liberal. I am liberal. You're liberal. We're generous. They are communist, socialist. They're tyrants. They believe the community, the society, the government, the Democrat Party, Communist Party, really, they know better. And they appoint communists in their crooked court system to protect them. The system is broken. That's one reason I left California over 10 years ago. I saw this place is not fixable. You know, it's beyond repair. So I came to Florida. I suggest you, number one, I told Dave Rodriguez, I know you live in those small little counties in Northern California, and that's great, but guess what? They will not protect you from the state of California, unfortunately. Okay? So I suggest you leave that state as soon as you can, because the income tax in California, they apply to all over the state, even in freedom counties like Siskiyou and small counties up there north. So, and you cannot win in their courts, in agencies. They just like a Soviet Union, they ignore the law. The courts are biased, judges, crooks, you lose. So you can delay them, but you cannot stop them. So that's why if someone says, Peymon, but I cannot leave California. I'm taking my old mother or father or relatives, whatever. I just totally understand. I say, sorry. If you got your father or mother is old, got to take care of, or you got a small child with a divorce, got to be there to have you see your child in the state, or you got a great paying job, you cannot leave the state, sorry, you're stuck. That's part of being there. You have to pay those taxes to the communists in California until you get ready to leave. The good thing is transportation is so cheap compared to 50 or 100 years ago, you could just vote with your fingers and leave those crooked communist states like Hawaii, California, New York, easily, Massachusetts, easily come to Freedom State, like Florida, like Tennessee, and get a good job in these free states, which are flowing with good jobs because opportunities out there, because lower taxes, more freedom creates jobs and opportunities for everybody else. Any other questions, Dylan?
The letter says respond by October 2nd. Is any action required by me at this time?
There's nothing action required by you. You can answer them or not. They're going to ignore you no matter what you say. And they're gonna keep railroading you. Do you understand that? No matter what you do, they're
just going to keep sending letters?
Yep, and they keep sending letters. Eventually going to attack your bank account or paycheck. What do you do for a living, Dylan?
Oh, I'm a commercial truck driver.
Oh. It's easy for you, brother. Why don't you just go get yourself set up in Nevada. Why do you have to be set up, or in which is Nevada's no state income tax? Why do you have to be set up in California?
Well, my university is in California.
What do you mean? You don't go to school. You truck
Well,
driver.
I don't want to be a truck driver for the rest of my life. I'm currently enrolled in a university full time.
Okay. Well, you got a choice to make. Until you go, as long as you're in university, then you might have to pay income tax to California. Sorry, you're taking advantage of their university system. They, low cost, whatever they're giving you. So you take from one hand from them, so give them on the other, contribute to your own university tuition. Seems fair to me. Don't take from them and don't give to them, or you take it from them and give to them. For the time being, until you get out, leave them alone completely. Anything else?
So, if I were to leave the state, they would have no recourse?
Yep. As long as you have no property, no source of money, you have no bank or brokerage account with a branch or presence in California, they cannot touch you, because America is not one country. We are 50 countries or states in a union, the public school system, and that university doesn't tell you that. But that's how it is. That's why the president gives a State of the Union address every year. The corona lockdowns were state by state, country by country, like France, Germany, and Italy are in the European Union, right? That's a union, just like American Union. And the countries over there, France and Germany, so is California, Texas, and Florida. Okay? Anything else, Dylan?
That's it for now. I hope I can get the paperwork to you in the proper way. So I request that he puts it on your recording studio table. Is that correct?
Yes, but I already answered your question. You don't need to do that anymore. It makes no difference. My answer to you is the same. I know you want me to give you a magic answer, but I don't have one. I'm sorry. The best I could do for you, number one, is be honest with you. Other people will lie to you to take your money. Promise you they can do stuff for you, they can't. And they're going to be sorry that you gave them your money. With California, probably the best to do is to file and pay them. Make a payment plan if you have to. They're pretty good at that. That's one thing they're good at. They know that people are poor, so they only take 25% of your paycheck maximum. They'll leave you 75% to live on. And they'll let you, they're pretty good, they'll let you make payment plans also. Because they know. They know Californians are poor, most of them, except the elites. They're rich, okay? So they know that. So that's all. And so you might want to file small payment plan. Eventually you can leave, but whatever you end up owing, the balance can get paid unpaid. Oh, well, that's between you to pay them or not. That's up to you. Okay?
Okay, so it sounds like the maximum that they would ever take from you would be 25%
of your paycheck. They can take it out of your bank account or until the amount is paid, but your paycheck is only 25% maximum. Even then, call them, make a payment plan. They'll let you make a small payment plan. They're pretty good about that. Okay?
Okay. How long do you think I should wait for that?
Wait for what?
To set up the payment plan.
You got to file first. You got to file a tax return first.
Well, I haven't done that.
They want you to be in this common state of California, be a slave. Until you become a slave and fill out the California 540 form, they say, no deal for you. Just follow that 540 California confession form, lower the amount of tax that you could pay them, and then based that amount, make a payment plan on that. Call them, they'll help you with that process. They want you to be a slave and then pay them a little bit. Okay?
I see. All right, thanks.
You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for asking. We got 909 area code caller. I think he left. I don't see him here anymore. 909 caller got tired and left. Sorry about that. But we have Caller from area code, let's see, 630. No, see, and then, let's see, we got anonymous caller from a bunch of ones shows up. And then one from area code 850. Another one from area code 360. Then one from area code 929. And that's it for right now. Okay. 630 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, my name is Karen. Thank you for taking my call. I heard you from the Illinois State Assembly. I am currently changing my status with them and have questions on my revocation of election of taxes. Before I send that in, I have a quick question. I'm changing my status, and my husband isn't. So on that 1040 form, I don't want my name or anything on there right now once I send these documents in. So what would he put on there? Would he be head of household?
You keep cutting out. Stay close to your microphone. I can hear you. You cut out. Say it again.
Oh, okay. So I just want to know, so since my husband isn't, he wants to still pay taxes. He doesn't believe that, we can, it's voluntary. So I'm sending my revocation of election into the IRS. But before I do that, I want to know how he files taxes without me on there, without anything about me. Does he not claim me, or what is he marked, like head of household? Is there a specific way to do that in a divided household like that?
Oh yeah. First of all, you do not need to do revocation of election. Okay. Because there's nothing to revoke in the first place. That's a faulty
But
assumption.
in the past, I've checked off that I've been a citizen and that I owe taxes. So that's once you stop, you just stop.
What do you mean you checked out you're a citizen and you owe taxes? What do you mean by that?
So I understand from why we pay taxes is because we mark that we're a citizen of the United States Incorporated.
Well, that's
and
incorrect.
that we are telling them now that we are not.
Stop right there. That's incorrect, Karen. That's not so.
Okay.
Let me stop you right there. So that's just not correct. I mean, I need to tell you the truth. That's simply not so.
Okay.
There's no place you declare that forever you're a U.S. citizen slave, and now you must formally reject that. No. You and I have always been state citizen, U.S. national, and state citizen at the same time, no different than George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. There's nothing to change or revoke at all. What it is that in tax law, they use definitions. Here's Internal Revenue Code in my hand. Okay? These tax laws, Internal Revenue Code, is written for U.S. citizens. But you see, the term U.S. in law means different things. Okay? In law, it could mean the 50 states, could mean 50 states in union and territories. It could mean the whole 50 states and territories as opposed to other countries like Russia, China, England, Germany. Or it could mean Washington, D.C. It could mean Washington, D.C.'s territories. And they could define it sometimes include D.C. and some territory, or other territory or not the other. It could be defined differently for every different law. So, for income tax purposes, also for payroll tax purposes, you were never ever a U.S. citizen as defined by law. They just deceived you to believe and accept and assume that you're a U.S. citizen as defined by the, laws. But for tax laws, you're not a U.S. citizen. But for citizenship purposes, again, you and I are U.S. citizens, state citizens, and state nationals. So there's nothing to revoke. You don't need to pay anybody nothing. Just go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. There's 7 steps you can take to regain your power and freedom. And this way, you'll never again have to voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely and with a guarantee if you wish. So go to 7 steps. As you might have heard me, step 1 starts with the law. So somebody well-intentioned, Dave Assembly, give you the incorrect law. Maybe you can educate him about Freedom Law School. Look, he says there's nothing to revoke. Show me where I became for tax purposes a U.S. citizen to begin with. He cannot show that to you because you were never were for tax purposes a U.S. citizen. So as far as your spouse goes, 2 answers for you. Answer number 1. These theories are not right. They don't make sense. But Freedom Law Schools are documented by U.S. government's official legal websites. Your solution is very simple. Wine and dine your husband this week or next week. Surprise him. Say, honey, I love you so much, and I want to make sure we always stay married happily together and safely. I need an hour of your time tonight to give to me, please. Can you do that for me? Okay? Sure, honey. What is it? I want to make sure we follow the law strictly. I don't want to be in trouble at all with the government. I want to be safe as it can be. And I found this place now that everything they say about the IRS and taxes is not based upon some opinion of a CPA or an attorney. It's based upon U.S. government's official legal websites. Directly going to get the number from the IRS's own mouth, U.S. Treasury regulations, U.S. House of Representatives, and the U.S. Supreme Court. So sit down, please. Let's watch. And if you see anything wrong, please let me know because I want to make sure we do things on the up and up. And these guys are a stickler for the law. Bring them down and have them sit down and follow the law. Step 1. The first video is only 9 minutes. Right? Just 9 minutes. So after that, you can watch this 4 other short videos between 5 to 10 minutes to prove the point that, you don't have to file income tax to people of the 50 states. Now, and then for more detail, you can watch them next week because the longer complete videos are right here below the 5 more longer detailed videos, all the short ones you just saw. But take him to step 2, okay? Step 2 is very important to start filing tax returns, okay? And then so play the video there, okay, right there. And then maybe if you get the time left a little bit, go to step 3, okay, and watch the 9-minute front page. For the first night, just step 1, 2, and 3 would be enough to get him started, okay? And then another night later that week or next week, is what you do, is to have that nice dinner and watch more of the videos. And I bet you, brother, 90%, it will not get to a situation of you having to, decide how he files. Yes, he can file single if he wants to. Okay? He can file head of household if he wants to, but it's practically the same as a single. Doesn't make a difference. But that's the last resort. Don't go there yet. Once he sees how we are following the government's own official legal websites, he might say to you, wow, honey, I didn't know about that. Thank you for showing me this. This one makes sense. Now, I understand this. All right, Karen, anything else?
That's all. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome, Karen. Let's see now. We have a call from Miracle. Let's see. Oh, anonymous call from 111. Our anonymous caller, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. I wasn't sure. I'm Lev. I heard about you when you sponsored the pandemic documentary. Mm-hmm. And I was just curious. I'm pretty familiar with your information. I'm almost finished with step 4. I just had a question. like specific to bank accounts. So I'm aware that with your business and you set it up on as a cash business, and I'm aware that you kind of reference how the Supreme Court says if you want privacy, you should not have a bank account. But I was just kind of curious, for someone who can't have an all-cash business, like someone who receives money electronically into a traditional bank account, are they still good candidates for no longer
You
paying
keep cutting out. Hold
federal
on.
income tax?
Liz, you keep cutting out. I can't hear you. Stay close to your phone. You keep cutting out. Okay?
Oh, is this better?
Try again. Just stay consistent with your microphone distance. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So I don't know how much you heard, but I guess for someone who can't have an all-cash business, like someone who receives money electronically into a traditional bank account, are they still good candidates for no longer paying federal income tax through your program? Like, I understand that it's not required. You're not required to pay income tax if you're not a resident or a citizen of D.C. But I guess the reason I'm asking is because in the state citizen community, which I don't really consider myself a part of that community, I love your information because it is so rooted in law and above board, and I love it. So I'm kind of trying to distance myself from that community a little bit, but in that community, they're always warning against, don't use a personal bank account. It's attached to your Social Security number. The IRS monitors your account.
Who tells that to
And,
you? Who tells that to you, by the way, Liz? What community?
Who what?
What community tells you all these things?
Oh, I guess some of the communities on like Crow 777 radio, or some of these like PMAs that are teaching about like state citizen education, kind of like the woman before who was talking about the Illinois State Assembly. I'm familiar with that organization. I'm not a part of it, but those kind of organizations, that's something they're always talking about, like how you shouldn't use a personal bank account that's attached to your Social Security number. I've never heard you say anything about that, so I'm assuming that's
Hold on. I'll tell you the answer.
But I
Liz,
hold
on. Liz, hold on. I got your question. There are people waiting. I got to get your answer. Okay. There's 340 million Americans out there, roughly. Technically, the IRS can get anybody's bank account and use that information against you. But practically, they cannot. There's way too many people out there. And the IRS is too incompetent, inefficient to come after non-filers. According to the IRS's best numbers, you see this in my step 3. I cover this very much in step 3. Okay, there's about 80 million plus non-filers, according to IRS's best estimates. IRS is so messed up. Computers are antiquated, that people are leaving them very fast, the employees are very fast, that the IRS has barely enough employees to cover the phones, even some of the time, to let people make payment plan on their, what they filed on the 1040 owing. That's right. They cannot even cover enough people to take phone calls to let you make payment plan when you already owe the IRS money. So leaving you alone. You don't have to do cash. You do not need to do a cash business. I do cash for extra privacy. I have a right to do it that way, my choice. But you don't have to restrict yourself to that. You can take checks, electronic money, just fine. IRS cannot come after non-filers because every non-filer has a right, that's right, to go to a tax court to challenge the IRS's proposals. Filers confess on a 1040 form to the IRS that they owe the IRS money. Non-filers do not make such a confession. Okay? Therefore, IRS, if they want to come after you, IRS has to give you a chance to have a trial. And it is impossible for the IRS to bring all these cases of 80 million Americans before 31 U.S. tax code judges. They just do not have enough manpower to do that. So they don't. They leave non-filers alone. 80 million non-filers. So all those groups you belong to, refer them to Freedom Law School. As you join Restore Freedom Plan, tell them that they can be free. It's a lot easier than they realize. Tell them that Freedom Law School, the founder of it, hasn't filed and paid income tax for over 30 years and teaching Americans the same. Never been indicted, never been to federal prison for taxes or anything else. Why? Because obviously he knows what he's doing. Let's get away from all those cockamamie patriot mythologies that's out there in the freedom movement. Get you something absolutely solid that works. freedomlawschool.org. And you join, and by referring them to us, be the modern day Paul Revere, spreading the word with love to them. We want to thank you, reward you for opening your mouth and tell them, okay, send for our brochure. I've made these brochures for people like you, Liz, who has a community of freedom lovers around you. Expose them to Freedom Law School. It's to people like you, Liz, who knows other freedom seekers. We're going to take America back. Some of these people that call us, they're by themselves. Online, I just know myself. But you know other people, my friend. So for you, it's a great opportunity to help and love others while you help yourself by joining and telling other people about our Restore Freedom Plan. Any other questions, Liz?
No, I agree, and thank you so much. And that's why I'm here. I think you're really a breath of fresh air. So thank you for all your work. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling. I'll have your number. You're anonymous, so you call us. Tell me I'm the anonymous caller, okay? That called, and I'm involved with these groups. Tell me how to expose them to truth and get paid for it as well. By the way, we will pay you, though, not with check, electronically. When you have people join, we'll pay you cash. We pay you with crypto, right? So, is that the best way to go? So, tax-free on top of that, of course. And let's go to another call we have. Let's see, 360 caller, 850 caller dropped out. Sorry about that, my friend. Call back again, 850 caller. We'll take your call after 360 and 929 area code callers. 360 caller, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
My name's Robert, and I've been following you for some time. I don't exactly know or remember where I found you, but I'm glad I did. I've made myself a New Year resolution.
How many years?
I've known you for about 9 months.
All right, very good, my friend. You do all Rumble was on Rumble. You have any idea how you came across this?
It was probably through something like Redacted or one of those programs on YouTube.
Okay, very good. And how can I help you, my friend?
My question is, I made a New Year's resolution to not file next year, and I had one big question. Mm-hmm. Since my capital gains goes on my 1040, does that mean I don't pay for my capital gains?
Are you from Washington, D.C.?
No.
Okay. Then, it does not matter whether you made your income from capital gains, wages, salaries, royalties, rentals, stocks, bonds, options, any source of money. It doesn't matter. You're not from the land of Washington, D.C. The Internal Revenue Code for income tax purposes is Washington, D.C. That United States, not the 50 states, United States. They deceive you to believe. So it doesn't matter how you make your living in any kind of way. For tax purposes, you are not a U.S. citizen. For nationality purposes, yes, you are not a U.S. citizen, state citizen, and a U.S. national at the same time. Okay?
Okay, yeah, I believe you. I just needed to ask because I do have some coming up, and I know if my state has it, I have to pay that, but not the federal. So
is
that
it
was
real
my only
estate
question.
or stocks? What do you got the capital gains from?
Mostly crypto.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Well, you know about the crypto trap on the 1040 form, right?
Well, I'm aware of it, but since I'm not filing, it shouldn't be an issue.
Exactly. Smart man. Yes. It will not be an issue for you because you're not following those 1040 confession forms against yourself, and you'll be free. Very good. Good job, my friend. Anything else?
Nope. Be glad to join you here in a few more weeks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for your great question. And let's go to the next call from area code 929. Please give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question. Are you there? Area code 929 caller. One more chance. Area code 909 caller. Are you there? 929 caller. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Hi, Peymon.
Hi.
Peymon?
Yes, what is your name?
Oh, hi, Peymon. My name is Gabriela. I have called you before. Hello?
Yes, and how may I help you, Gabriela?
Oh, hi, yes. It's like the question that the previous person asked.
What question?
No, because I want to ask you about the capital gains from the stocks and the real estate. Mm-hmm. I live in one of the socialist states.
Okay. All right. What state is that?
New York.
All right. New York follows federal law. So, if you do not owe any federal income tax because you're not from D.C., you do not owe anything on New York either.
But do I have to pay federal? Because somebody told me that I have to pay federal. So now I'm a little bit confused because I'm not supposed to file because I'm not a citizen of Washington,
right.
D.C. But at the same time, I've been hearing that federal are very strict and they can come to look for me.
Well, you heard a bunch of lies and propaganda. You do not owe any money to the federal government in income taxes because you're not from Washington, D.C., correct?
Yeah, I'm not.
And New York follows federal law, definition, and forms. So if you do not owe any federal income tax, you cannot owe any New York income tax either for capital gains, wages, business income, rental, whatever it is, you owe zero. Okay?
Oh, my
now,
God.
Is this a real estate escrow closing? Are you going to be closing on your property pretty soon?
Can you repeat?
Are you selling real estate, you said?
No, because I have some stuff that I want to sell, but I'm afraid that the federal income tax, I'm not fighting at all. So they told me that I have to file federal.
Sell your real estate now. We are right now at the top of the real estate market. This money cycle, business cycle they're talking about up and down. We're at the top. The bottom of the market was 2012. We had from 2012 to now, 12 years of up market is getting ready to crash in the next few months or the next couple of years at the latest. So this is the time to sell your real estate, cash out what you can before the crash. And you want to join now. So when the real estate closing takes place, we'll help educate the title closing people that they legally and correctly should not send the 1099 form to the IRS. Okay, about your real estate.
But they always do. They always do
nope,
it. They
not with
always
Freedom
do
Law
because
School.
they said it's because of
No,
the debt.
hey, stop, Gabriela.
Oh, okay.
Not with Freedom Law School. We've done it before.
So before, so you guys can help me when I'm selling it to guide me and be there for me, like like a part of my team when I'm selling.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But you need to call us as the escrow closing papers are starting, title closing are starting. Call us right away. When you accept the offer, at that time we need to start the process of preparing you to make sure the whole title closes without them 1099ing you. Not the last minute before you're about to sign papers. No. As soon as you got in fact, at the latest, before you sign the accepting the sale, you should do it right away, so I can prepare and guide you throughout this whole process to do it safely. Okay, and that you don't get in trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And then, so we're okay with that. When do you think it's going to crash the real estate market?
I don't
What's
know.
the window that you giving?
No one knows the exact time, but it's like 2006, 2007 right now. Remember that? That was the top of the market in 2006, and 2007 was going down. Way back in 2005, I was telling people, look, it's crazy. It can't go up any much longer. It's going to end soon. Okay, 2006, I saw it level off. 2007 started going down a little bit. Okay, so my best guess is 6 months to a year and a half. But it could be as short as 3 months. Could be as long as 2 months. It doesn't matter. You bought, hopefully, a real estate way back then, 5-10 years ago. So you make your money now. Don't be greedy.
But Peymon.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. But Peymon, here in New York, the real estate is like rents are high. They're building new buildings, like luxury buildings. I don't understand. It doesn't look like it's going to crash in New York when you look at everything, high rent, new construction.
Of course, because right now the economy is good. Government borrowing and spending money, okay? Right now is good. But do you remember the 2008 crash?
Yes.
Did real estate prices go down?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
All right.
It's going to happen again. It's predictable. Not exactly by the month or day, but the big cycles are predictable. This was Economics 101 I learned in California Community College about what they call the business cycle. It's a money cycle where the government borrows money out of thin air. The banks make money out of thin air by fractional reserve banking. Everybody has money. Spend, buy, borrow. At some point, people have borrowed to the hilt. Inflation and is killing them, and that inflation eventually becomes unemployment. Unemployment means everything will go down. Real estate will go down. Everything will go down. We are at the top of the market. You want to wait for the last minute before doing it? That's totally your choice.
No.
I'm giving the loving guidance to sell now as soon as you can. Okay? Join us right away.
Great.
And I'll guide you through the process of selling your real estate right away also, so you don't lose out, Gabriela. Okay?
Thank you. So in conclusion, I don't have to file federal tax because I'm not filing at all.
That's right.
But I don't have to file federal tax.
That's it. Or New York.
I don't have to. In New York, I have to federal tax. I have to file.
No. Not New York and not IRS.
Okay, right. Thank you, Peymon.
You're welcome, Gabriela.
Have a nice night. Okay, we keep in touch. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You looks like we may be done, but I'm going to give you guys one more chance. If you have a question, to get your questions answered. Call area code 657-383-1755, and your telephone pad, press 1, and I will take your question next. Dial 657-383-1755, and on your telephone keypad, you press 1, and I will take your question next, okay? We do have a caller right now from area code 813. So caller from area code 813, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hello, Peymon. My name is Tito. I'm calling from Florida.
Say your name again?
Yeah, Tito. T-I-G-O. Tito.
Oh, Tito. Okay, got it. All right. Yes, you're from Tampa area, correct?
Yes, sir.
How did you hear about us?
Well, interesting story. I found your website in a PMA, a private membership association Facebook group. Well, I didn't find your website there, but I'm a member of the PMA group, and someone posted an ad charging $2,400 to prepare documents to free us from income taxes. I did some research on YouTube, and I found your website. Bless you, brother. Bless you.
You're welcome. PMA Facebook group. I know there are many out there. Which one? Which one was it? The PMA Facebook group you're part of?
It's a PMA Power.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And one of the guys, one of the main guys, his name is David. And anyway, he prepares PMA documents for people, homeschool families, and so forth. Well, anyway, he offered this new service of $2,400 for preparing documents to free us from income taxes. I come to your website, and anyway, bless you. Bless you
How
again.
did you get to our website? From his group, then. I don't get that.
Well, no. I'm sorry. I did research on YouTube about this tax issue, and the research on YouTube led me to your website.
Gotcha.
I found you on YouTube. Okay. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I took out some early withdrawals from my Roth 401k in 2022 and 2023. I owe the IRS about $25,000 for both years. I'm currently on an installment plan. I don't have any tax issues this year, but after doing the research on your website, I don't want to file anymore, but I'm already on an installment plan. So my questions: do you think the bank will honor my request to stop the reoccurring payment, or should I close my account? And follow-up question: what would happen to my passport if I stop paying income tax? And finally, if I join the Freedom Plan, can you assist with prior tax issues such as the one I described? Thank you.
Okay. Your passport will not be affected. You can tell the bank to stop taking your money. That is true. And the better thing to do is to just change your bank account. That way there's no risk whatsoever. Okay?
Yep.
From that money being taken out of the bank account because they know where it is. And your last question, what about Restore Freedom Plan? What about it?
Can you assist with the prior issues of 2022 and 2023 if they come after me, if I haven't started with your plan yet?
Pre-existing issues, yes, I can assist, but no guarantees because I
No
don't know what
guarantee.
you got. I'm not a magician, but I do know how to help with previous issues as well, yes.
Yeah.
At extra charge, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just early withdrawals from a 401k. I'm paying the 10% IRS penalty. So that's really my tax issue there. It's just early withdrawals from the 401k. My final question was the passport. While I was doing my research, I saw something about the passport could be terminated and if you stop paying income tax. So my question to you is, what about the passport?
They can take your passport if you already been assessed, determined to owe the IRS about $60,000.
Okay.
You owe them a lot less than that, so it's not an issue.
Okay. Awesome. I'm definitely a believer. I appreciate all the information, sir, and I'll be in touch with your office pretty soon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my friend. My pleasure to assist you. You are a neighbor down the street. We're 50 minutes north of you in Brooksville. So great to meet with you. And let's see. Do you have any more callers, guys? Or this is it? We're done? Okay. But one more chance we'll give everybody to ask questions. Last chance for questions. Call 657-383-1755. Press 1 on your telephone keypad, and you will be next. 657-383-1755. And then on your phone pad, press 1, and you'll be next. Otherwise, we'll be done for tonight. By the way, I'll be at the Ripple Expo. I forgot to mention earlier, coming up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got to start promoting that, by the way, guys. Please make a note about it, okay? Ripple Expo freedomlawschool.org is the website. So here it's coming up on my screen right now. That's in the middle of November in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here it is. November 16th, 17th, and 18th. Okay? So you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So be there, folks. Ed Griffin, he is the organizer. He got a lot of great speakers. You already got some of them already there for you. We'll be joining you, my friends. So with that, you'll learn so much good information at the Red Pill Expo. You ought to come to it. It's a great event that happens only twice a year. So with that, remember, I love for you to live free. I love every one of you to be free, but I cannot do it for you. You hold the key. The turnkey is called freedomlawschool.org. Go there, listen to our videos as you drive to and from work and errands or wash dishes or any passive activity you might be doing. Listen. Later on, at lunch or dinner table, now you can put your computer or cell phone up. Once again, hear it and watch and verify that what you're watching is the truth, and you'll be free. Whether you want to do it on your own, which you're welcome to do, especially if you're low income, you need your money, keep 100%, IRS will leave you alone. If you're higher income and want to be extra safe and secure, we have a Restore Freedom Plan. If you want to support the freedom movement, you want to be part of America being free like the founding fathers of America, you want to join the Restore Freedom Plan. So with that, I give you all my love, and I hope you be living a free life from now on, forever, until the day you go back up to heaven. Good night.